Late last year, Hyundai launched their Venue crossover SUV in South Africa. Interestingly, South Africa is probably the only country in the world where they're selling both the Venue and the Creta models. And there is a little bit of crossover between the two, but the Venue, you can see very, very squared off body, very interesting light treatment with these square headlights over here, daytime running lights, slim lights over there. So very interesting looking vehicle, especially from the front end. The Venue comes in 3 trim levels, all powered by the same engine. So you start with the Motion, then you get the Fluid in the middle, up to the Glide. This is the middle spec Fluid version. So there are a number of points I can show you on it. You come around the side over here, in typical crossover SUV fashion, you've got cladding around the wheel arches, your cladding of course at the bottom of the doors, and you've got very nice mag wheels with 16-inch tires on them. So it's a 16-inch wheel, giving you nice ground clearance, not bad at all. You can see we're actually on a dirt road over here, out in the countryside. Had to find a good venue to film the Venue. Maybe a bit corny, but I think you get my point. You look over here in the back and you'll see nice space in the back seat. Nice that you do have a vent for the air conditioning at the back for back passengers as well, in the center over there. That's something that you don't always get on every car. So that is a nice important fact, and it does have ISOFIX on the back seats as well. So just keep that in mind, because not every contender in the segment tends to have ISOFIX fittings for the back seats. You come around to the boot, of course, and it's a nice sized boot, very deep, but do keep in mind that it's a pretty high loading lip to get over to it. So if you're going to be loading heavy luggage regularly, something you should keep in mind. You can of course drop the back seat, but note that on the Fluid and Motion versions, you get a one-piece back seat. You've got to go up to the top level Glide to get a split rear seat to drop. And then very neat at the back again, you've got a skid plate effect at the rear over there, you can see, just giving you again the crossover off-road feature, and these very funny, interesting square rear lights down at the bottom over there as well. So continuing that squared off theme. All 3 versions are powered by Hyundai's 1-litre 3-cylinder petrol turbo engine. It's the same one that does come in the Creta and Kona versions as well, in the Kona in particular. And interestingly, in the Venue, it is also offered with automatic as well as manual. This is a manual version. The engine puts out 88 kilowatts and 172 newton meters of torque. It's a peppy little engine. It gives a lot more go and a lot more pep than I was actually expecting from this vehicle. It's actually quite a fun little vehicle to drive. Let's check it out inside. Taking a look inside, you'll see the instrumentation is pretty basic, but it certainly gives you all the information you want. But have a look over there. We've done 523 kilometers on this test so far, 6.3 liters per 100, which I think is a superb figure. But I want to show something further, is that if I find a setting, which of course it's now not giving me, just because it doesn't want to, but if you have a look here, we on this drive today out into the country, done 78 kilometers at 5.8 liters per 100. So that's really good and shows what you can achieve when you're cruising. And then obviously that 6.3 is the figure for the overall for the week's driving. So really nice figures, I think, and shows what that little 1-litre engine's capable of. You've got your standard multifunction steering wheel with all the controls, which includes cruise control. So you've got all of that, and that's fine over there. And then of course you come across to the touch screen in the center, which gives you everything you want, but just keep in mind there is not navigation, because they do want you to actually use mirroring and screen mirroring or Android Auto or one of those. So it's just something you need. Come down to the air conditioning system, effective, and then in the center over here below it, your USBs, which are nicely placed, nice and convenient, nice and easy. Below here you've got your 6-speed manual gearbox. Light, easy, pleasant, fun to drive. Overall, clutch, gearbox, steering, everything nice and easy, nice and light, and that's a feature of this car, and I think that makes quite a difference as well. You've got cloth seating on this model, and you can see you've got quite interesting striping on the seat as well, so it's actually quite nice and quite neat. and lots of room in the back seat. I showed that to you earlier. This model comes in at 317,000 Rand currently for the 6-speed manual version. You can get into the the motion version, which is the cheapest one, which has 2 airbags as opposed to the 6 airbags of this version, and you can get into that for 270,000 Rand right now. So it's slap bang in the market for crossover vehicles, exactly where it needs to be price-wise. This engine is an absolute little peach of an engine as far as I'm concerned. It buzzes nicely. It's a typical 3-cylinder 1-litre with turbo, and very, very peppy performance, as I mentioned. Of course, also something you do get when you go up to fluid or glide is you do get a nice reverse camera as well. You can see nicely integrated the screen. Yeah, your dashboard is plastic. It's hardish plastic, but it looks good, and it's certainly no rattles, no squeaks, no nothing. This car's got 7,000 kilometers on the clock. Overall, everyone knows Hyundai, the quality you get from Hyundai, and the value you get from Hyundai with all the features that you get on their cars. And quite simply, quite honestly, it is simply a matter of another really, really good contender in this crossover SUV market. It's a crowded marketplace. There are so many competitors. From the Ford EcoSport, Toyota CHR, you've got them all. Kia Seltos comes into it, and the list will go on and on. I can't give you all of them right now. But this is certainly one that if I was you, if you're looking in the crossover SUV range and the category, take a look at this one. It's a nice option. For Motor Matters, I'm Alan R. I'll see you next time.